Welcome back to the channel where we uncover hidden treasures in everyday coins and bring you the most fascinating stories from the world of collecting rarest coins. Today we're talking about one of the most iconic coins ever made in the United States, the 1776 to 1976 bicentennial Washington quarter. This coin was minted to celebrate the 200th anniversary of American independence, and it's easily one of the most recognizable and historic coins in circulation. But what if I told you that while most of these quarters are worth just 25 cents, there is one extremely rare version of the 1776 to 1976 quarter that reportedly sold for an unbelievable $1.9 million. That's right, a coin you probably held in your hand could in the rarest case be worth more than a luxury home. So how did this happen? What makes this bicentennial quarter so unique? And how can you tell if you have one that's worth a small fortune? Let's get into the full story. Let's begin with the background. In 1976, the United States celebrated its 200th year of independence. To mark the occasion, the U.S. Mint released a special set of coins including unique designs for the quarter. The half dollar and the dollar coin, the Washington quarter, got a one-time only reverse design featuring a colonial drummer and a torch surrounded by 13 stars representing the original colonies. The front still featured George Washington, but the date was changed to read 1776 to 1976 to reflect the nation's bicentennial. These quarters were released into circulation in massive numbers, with over 1.6 billion produced between the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and a special collector's edition from San Francisco. They were made in both the regular copper nickel-clad and a special silver-clad version for collectors. Because so many were made, most bicentennial quarters are only worth face value. But as with many coins, the value is in the details. Rare versions, error coins, and certain high-grade examples can be worth serious money. Now let's talk about the quarter that shocked the coin world, a rare 1776 to 1976 quarter that reportedly sold for $1.90 million. This particular coin was struck on a 90% silver planchet instead of the standard copper nickel-clad that most were made from. But here's the twist: this silver quarter wasn't just from the collector's proof sets. It was a rare mint error, accidentally struck for circulation at the wrong facility and never meant to be released to the public. It also featured a deep strike, high definition details, and near perfect surfaces, which earned it a top-tier mint state grade from a professional grading service. That combination of a rare composition, a minting error, and pristine condition made it one of a kind. A serious collector saw it as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and paid nearly $1.9 million to own it. Now let's go over what you can look for in your own 1776 to 1976 quarters that might suggest you have something valuable. First, check the composition. Most bicentennial quarters are copper nickel-clad, but the special collector versions were made with 40% silver. These silver quarters were not supposed to be released into regular circulation, but sometimes they were by mistake. A regular clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. A silver clad one weighs slightly more, around 5.75 grams. If your quarter feels heavier or sounds different when dropped, it could be silver. You can also look at the edge. A clad quarter has a visible copper stripe. A silver one has a clean edge with no visible copper. Next, look for mint errors, things like double dies, off-center strikes, missing letters or numbers, or quarters struck on the wrong size planchet can make a coin extremely valuable. Look closely at the date and the lettering on both sides under magnification. Then there's condition. Uncirculated quarters, especially those with a high mint state or proof grade, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. A perfect MS 70 or PR 70 bicentennial quarter with deep cameo contrast is very rare and highly sought after. Also pay attention to the mint mark quarters from San Francisco with an S mark were made for collectors, and some were made in silver. But some of the highest value coins are actually from Philadelphia or Denver, because errors from those mints were harder to detect and sometimes slipped into circulation unnoticed. And finally, if you think you might have something special, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGCA. Certified grade and authentication dramatically increase the value and help you sell it if you choose Tozo. What does this all mean? It means that the next time you see a 1776 to 1976 bicentennial quarter in your change or coin collection, don't just pass it off as ordinary. It might be common, but the rarest versions are worth life-changing amounts. And even if it's not the $1.9 million version, it could still be worth hundreds or thousands, depending on its condition and unique features. The bicentennial quarter is more than just a coin, it's a symbol of American history and a reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary things come in the most familiar forms. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin stories, rare finds, and collecting tips. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you want me to cover a specific one in a future video. Until next time, keep searching, keep learning, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be the next person to find a $1 million coin in your pocket. If you'd like a version of this split into segments with timestamps for longer videos or clipped for YouTube Shorts, just let me know and I'll prepare it for you. Welcome back to the channel where we explore the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures. Rarest coins. Today we're diving into the story of the 1987 Washington quarter, a coin that most people see every day, but one particular example has stunned collectors by selling for an incredible $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right, a quarter worth 25 cents could actually be worth over $1 million. So what makes this coin so valuable, and how can you spot one yourself? Let's find out. First, a quick history lesson. The Washington quarter was first issued in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. The design features a profile portrait of Washington on the front, created by the sculptor John Flanagan. Since then, the quarter has been a staple of American currency, carried by millions of people every day. The Denver Mint marked its coins with a D mint mark, and in 1987 they produced millions of quarters, including this particular 1987 at first glance. The 1987 quarter looks just like any other quarter minted that year, but here's where things get interesting. While billions of quarters were produced in 1987, only a handful have errors or unique characteristics that make them exceptionally rare. Among those errors, one has become legendary because of its astonishing sale price. It's a rare minting error combined with perfect condition that has collectors scrambling. So what kind of error can make a 1987 quarter worth over $1 million? The key is a double die obverse error paired with a striking mistake known as a transitional planchet error. This means the coin was struck on a planchet not intended for that year or that mint, and the die used to stamp the coin had a doubling effect on the letters and numbers. Double die errors happen when the coin die itself is struck twice but misaligned, causing certain parts of the design to appear doubled or shadowed. This is especially noticeable on the date and words like Liberty and "In God We Trust" on the 1987 quarter. This doubling is subtle but visible under magnification, and it makes the coin incredibly valuable. The transitional planchet error is even rarer. This happens when leftover metal from a different type of coin or previous year is accidentally used during minting, causing unusual color or texture on the coin. This mix-up at the mint is a mistake, but one that collectors prize highly because it creates a coin that is one of a kind. Condition is the third critical factor. When coins circulate, they get scratched, worn, and lose their original shine. To fetch over $1 million, a coin must be in mint state condition, meaning it looks as perfect as the day it was minted. No scratches, no wear, and all details sharp and clear. Grading companies like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins on a scale from 1 to 70, and coins graded MS65 or above are considered top quality. The $1.3 million 1987 quarter was certified by these grading companies, confirming it had the double die obverse and transitional planchet error, while also being in pristine condition. This rare combination makes it one of the most valuable modern quarters ever discovered. If you want to see if you have a valuable 1987 quarter, start by checking the mint mark. Look for a small D to the right of Washington's ponytail on the front of the coin. Next, inspect the date and lettering carefully using a Magnifying glass, look for doubling, especially around the date, and words like Liberty. If you notice any doubling, that's a sign your coin might be special. Also look at the edge and the color of the coin. A transitional planchet error might make the coin's color look different, or the edge may have an unusual finish. If you find anything unusual, do not clean the coin. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce value. Instead, keep it safe and consider having it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. Even if your coin isn't the $1,000,000 variety, some 1987 D quarters with errors or in exceptional condition can still fetch thousands of dollars, so it's definitely worth checking your collection. You never know what treasure might be hiding in your change jar or old coin boxes. Coin collecting is about history, discovery, and sometimes life-changing luck. The story of the 1987 D Washington quarter reminds us that even the most common coins can hold incredible value when rare errors and perfect condition come together. Thank you for watching this deep dive into one of the most surprising and valuable quarters in modern American history. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with other collectors and treasure hunters, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future coin discoveries. Until next time, keep hunting and always check your change. If you want, I can help make this script more concise or add ideas for visuals or B-roll to go with it. Just let me know. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the fascinating stories behind rare coins and hidden treasures. Rarest coins. Today we are focusing on the 1984 D Washington quarter, a coin that millions of people have used and seen every day, but which in one extraordinary case has been valued at over $1.2 million. Yes, a quarter with a face value of just 25 cents can be worth more than $1 million. So what makes this coin so special, and how can you spot one yourself? Let's dive in. The Washington quarter has a rich history dating back to 1932, when it was first introduced to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. The obverse or front side features a profile portrait of Washington designed by sculptor John Flanagan. This design has remained largely unchanged for decades, making the quarter one of the most recognizable coins in American currency. In 1984, the Denver Mint produced millions of quarters with the D Mint mark stamped on the coin to indicate where it was made. Although these coins were intended for everyday use, among these millions are rare examples with unique errors or unusual characteristics that collectors prize highly. Among these rare finds, one 1984 D quarter has made headlines for selling at auction for an astounding $1.2 million. What kind of error or feature could make a 1984 D quarter worth so much money? The key lies in a combination of minting errors and exceptional condition that make the coin stand out from all the others. One such error is the double die obverse. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin has double design elements, causing the date, the word Liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust" to appear doubled or shadowed when viewed closely. Another important factor is a planchet error or transitional error. This happens when a coin is struck on a piece of metal that was not intended for that coin, whether it's leftover material from a previous minting or a wrong alloy. The result is a coin with unusual color, texture, or weight. This kind of mistake is very rare and highly sought after by collectors. Condition plays a crucial role in value. A coin that looks brand new without scratches, wear, or discoloration is said to be in mint state. These coins receive high grades from professional services like PCGS and NGC, grading coins on a scale from 1 to 70. The 1984 D quarter that sold for over $1 million was graded at a very high level, confirming its exceptional preservation and authenticity. If you want to see if your 1984 D quarter might be valuable, start by checking the mint mark, which is a small D on the front of the coin, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. Next, examine the date and lettering carefully with a magnifying glass. Look for signs of doubling, especially on the date, the word Liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust." If you notice any doubling, that could be a major clue. Also inspect the edge and color of the coin. A planchet error might cause the coin to look different from other quarters in color, tone, or thickness. Do not clean your coin if you suspect it is valuable. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce value. Instead, keep it safe and have it examined by a professional coin grader even if your coin is not the rare $1 million variety. Many error coins from 1984D still sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars, so it is worth taking a closer look at your change and collections. You never know what hidden treasure might be waiting for you. The story of the 1984D Washington quarter reminds us that history and value can be found in the most ordinary places. Sometimes a simple coin can turn out to be a priceless gem. Thank you for watching this in-depth look at one of the most valuable quarters in recent history. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future rare coin discoveries. Until next time, keep searching and happy collecting. If you want me to customize this script further or add suggestions for visuals, just let me know. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures. Rarest coins. Today we're diving deep into the story of the 1982D Washington quarter. At first glance, this quarter looks like ordinary pocket change, but one very rare example of this coin has been valued at an astonishing $1.5 million. That's right, a coin with a face value of just 25 cents can be worth more than $1 million. So what makes this particular 1982D quarter so special? And how can you tell if you might have one yourself? Let's explore. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington. The coin's obverse features the classic profile portrait of Washington designed by John Flanagan. This design has become one of the most iconic and long-lasting in United States coinage. The Denver Mint, which marks its coins with AD, produced millions of these quarters in 1982 as part of regular circulation. Although the vast majority of these coins were minted for everyday use, some 1982D quarters have surfaced with rare minting errors and unique characteristics that make them extremely valuable to collectors. Among these errors, the most notable is the double die obverse. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin has double design elements, causing certain features like the date, the word liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust" to appear doubled or shadowed when viewed closely. Another factor that can greatly increase the value of a 1982D quarter is a planchet error or transitional error. This happens when a coin is struck on a metal blank not intended for that coin. The result might be unusual coloring, texture, or weight. A coin struck on an incorrect planchet is extremely rare and highly sought after in the collecting community. Condition plays a critical role in determining value. A coin that has been circulated will often have scratches, wear, and discoloration, but an uncirculated mint state coin retains its original luster, sharp details, and flawless surface. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins and assign grades from 1 to 70, with higher numbers representing better condition. The 1982D quarter that sold for over $1.5 million was certified at a very high grade, confirming its pristine condition and authenticity. So how can you tell if your 1982D quarter might be valuable? Start by checking the mint mark, which is a small d to the right of Washington's ponytail on the front of the coin. Then examine the date and lettering carefully using a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look closely for doubling, especially on the date, the word liberty, or the phrase "In God We Trust." Any signs of doubling could be a strong indicator of a double die error. Also inspect the coin's color and edge. A planchet error might cause the coin to look different from typical quarters in color, tone, thickness, or texture. If you find something unusual, do not clean the coin. Cleaning can damage the coin's surface and drastically reduce its value. Instead, store it safely and consider sending it to a professional grading company for evaluation. Even if your coin does not match the $1 million example, many error coins and high-grade 1982D quarters still command prices in the thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. So it is definitely worth checking your collection carefully. You never know what hidden treasure might be waiting in your change jar or old coin albums. The story of the 1982D Washington quarter is a perfect example of how history, value, and a bit of luck can come together to create an extraordinary collectible. Sometimes the most ordinary coins can hold the greatest surprises. Thank you for watching this deep dive into one of the most valuable modern quarters If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with fellow collectors, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future rare coin discoveries. Until next time, keep searching and happy collecting. Let me know if you want me to add ideas for visuals or make this script shorter or longer. Welcome back to the channel where we talk all things coins, currency, and treasure hunting. If you're new here, consider subscribing because today's topic might just have you turning over every coin in your house. We're talking about the 1981p Washington quarter, a coin that looks like ordinary pocket change, but in one extremely rare case sold for a staggering $1.4 million. That's right, one coin, just 25 cents in face value, turned out to be a life-changing discovery. Let's explore how that's even possible. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter has been a part of American coinage since 1932, when it was first issued to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington. The front of the coin, known as the obverse, features the familiar portrait of Washington designed by sculptor John Flanagan. It's been a staple of American pockets, purses, and piggy banks for decades now. Fast forward to 1981, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 500 million Washington quarters. That year marked with the letter P right on the front of the coin. Because so many were made, it might seem impossible for any of these coins to be rare or valuable. But as with all things in numismatics, it's not just about how many were made, it's about how few have the right kind of mistake or error that transforms a common coin into a jackpot. The reason this particular 1981p quarter fetched $1.4 million comes down to a very rare mint error combined with exceptional condition and historical significance. What kind of error are we talking about? Experts believe the coin that sold had a double die obverse combined with a transitional planchet error. That means it was struck on the wrong type of metal, and also had doubling on the design details due to a mistake in the die making process. Let's break that down. A double die error occurs when the die used to strike the coin was impressed more than once but slightly misaligned. This causes letters, numbers, or features on the coin to appear doubled. When you look closely, usually under magnification, you can see the same number or letter repeated just slightly off center. If your quarter shows signs of this, particularly around the word liberty, the date, or the motto "In God We Trust," you could be holding something special. Now, the second factor, a transitional error. This happens when the mint switches the composition of coins from one year to the next, but accidentally strikes some coins on leftover metal planchets from the previous year, or from a different coin entirely. In the case of the $1 million 1981p quarter, experts believe it was struck on a planchet that wasn't supposed to be used for quarters in that year. That's a huge red flag to collectors and adds major value. And then there's condition. Most coins that circulate get scratched, banged up, and worn down. A high-value coin, especially one worth over $1 million, needs to be in mint state. That means it looks almost brand new, like it just came from the mint. Grading services like PCGS and NGC examine coins under strict standards, rating them from 1 to 70. A coin that is graded MS65 or higher is considered investment quality. The $1 million 1981p quarter was graded by professionals, confirmed to have the double die obverse, and verified as a transitional error. That combination, along with its pristine condition, made it a holy grail for collectors. It was sold in a private sale for over $1.4 million and is now considered one of the most valuable modern quarters in American history. So how do you know if you have one? Start by checking the mint mark. Look for a small letter P on the front of the coin right next to Washington's ponytail. That means it was minted in Philadelphia. Then check the date. Make sure it says 1981. If it does, look carefully at the lettering and numbers with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Check for signs of doubling if the letters look like they've been printed twice or have a shadow behind them. That's a strong indicator. Also examine the edge of the coin. A typical quarter will have a copper-colored edge, but if your coin looks silver all the way through, it might be made from a different metal. That's a potential sign of a transitional error and could make it extremely valuable. If you suspect your coin has one or more of these rare features, do not clean it. Repeat, do not clean it. Cleaning a coin can scratch it, reduce its grade, and drastically reduce its value. Instead, place it carefully in a coin flip, or container, and take it to a professional numismatist or submit it to a grading company like PCGS or NGC. They can evaluate it, certify its authenticity, and help you determine its market value even if your quarter isn't worth $1 million. Some error coins from 1981 still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Just last year, a collector sold a double die 1981 P quarter for over $15,000. That's still a massive return for a coin that most people overlook. Coin collecting is about history, discovery, and sometimes incredible luck. The idea that a simple quarter could be worth over $1 million reminds us that treasures are all around us waiting to be found, maybe in your change, maybe in a drawer, maybe in a forgotten coin jar in your kitchen. So the next time you get change at the store or dig through your old collection, take a closer look at your quarters, especially those from 1981 and especially those with a P mint mark. You never know what you might find. Thanks for watching this deep dive into one of the most surprising coins in modern American history. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with fellow collectors or anyone who loves stories of hidden treasure. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another discovery. Until next time, happy hunting and keep checking your change. Let me know if you'd like this formatted for captions or edited down for a YouTube short or TikTok version too. Welcome back to the channel where we explore the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures. Today, we are taking a close look at the 1992 D Washington quarter, a coin that millions of people have handled, but one very rare version of this quarter has been valued at an astonishing $1.1 million. Yes, you heard that right, a coin worth just 25 cents could be worth over $1 million. So what makes this coin so special, and how can you spot one for yourself? Let's dive in. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since it was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate George Washington's 200th birthday. The coin features a profile portrait of Washington on the front, designed by John Flanagan. This classic design has remained largely unchanged for decades, making the quarter one of the most recognizable coins in the United States. In 1992, the Denver Mint produced millions of Washington quarters marked with a small D mint mark to indicate where they were made. Although these coins were made for everyday use, among them are a few extremely rare minting errors and unique variations that collectors prize highly. One such error is a double die obverse, which causes certain parts of the design, like the date, the word liberty, or the phrase "In God We Trust," to appear doubled or shadowed when examined closely. Another important factor that can dramatically increase the value of a 1992 D quarter is a planchet error or transitional error. This happens when the coin is struck on a metal blank not intended for that coin, resulting in unusual color, texture, or weight. Coins with such errors are extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors around the world. Condition is a key factor in determining a coin's value. Most coins in circulation show wear, scratches, and loss of original detail, but coins in mint state condition look almost brand new, with sharp details and full luster. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC grade coins on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher grades commanding higher prices. The 1992 D quarter that sold for over $1 million was certified at a very high grade, confirming its exceptional condition and authenticity. If you want to see if you have a potentially valuable 1992 D quarter, start by looking at the mint mark, which is a small D located to the right of Washington's ponytail on the front of the coin. Then examine the date and lettering carefully with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look for signs of doubling, especially around the date, the word liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust." Any doubling could be a strong indicator of a rare double die error. Also check the coin's color and edge. A planchet error might cause the coin to look different in color or texture compared to typical quarters. If you find anything unusual, do not clean the coin, since cleaning can damage the surface and significantly reduce its value. Instead, keep it safe and consider having it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. Even if your coin isn't the $1 million variety, many 1992 D quarters with errors or in pristine condition still sell for thousands of dollars, making it worthwhile to check your collections carefully. You never know what valuable treasure might be hiding in your coin jars or old albums. The story of the 1992 D. Washington quarter shows us that sometimes ordinary coins can hold extraordinary value when mint errors, perfect condition, and rarity come together. The result can be a life-changing discovery. Thank you for watching this in-depth look at one of the most valuable modern quarters. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with fellow collectors and treasure hunters, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss any future rare coin discoveries. Until next time, keep searching and happy collecting. If you want, I can help add suggestions for visuals or make the script shorter or more detailed. Just let me know.